Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So, as an enterprise business leader of Yas, one fun part of my job is an opportunity that I get to sit down for meetings with a lot of leaders from government and from enterprises, being large, small, medium, all of them to discuss so many things. Some of the things we discuss are particularly how Yas, as a company and a partner and ally to their company, can sit down and work together and be partners, co-create, and take some of their operations forward and digitally. But the bigger part of these conversations are actually something that you, as a business leader, as an SME and a startup, can learn a lot from their personal and professional stories, but most important, from their experience and knowledge. But I can record these meetings, right? So yes, I sat down with our marketing team and we agreed that we'll do something for you. We'll be having the Yas Generation Talk, the Generation Yas Talk, but the corporate edition, where I'll be calling these people, sit down with them, talk to them, and have so many things that you guys can learn from. That would be good, right? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Generation Yas Talk, the corporate edition. Okay, so hi, ladies and gentlemen, our valuable listeners of the Yas generation or Generation Yas. This is the podcast, a corporate edition. And as I've promised you, myself and the team, we work very hard every day to have someone very influential, someone that you can learn a lot from. And our guest today, I'm very excited for this because I am also going to learn a lot. I've been looking up to him for so many things. I hope I'll do his introduction justice. So he's a chartered certified accountant, a former auditor, someone started very young as an associate auditor at PwC. I did a few years there, grew to some different management levels. Came to this company, which was TIGO some time ago. Now Yas. I did a few of also management positions here before moving to a company that he is leading now. I did more than 8-9 years across different levels. Started as a CFO, now a CEO. He's a leader. He's, I would say, a seasonal banker and someone who is very inspiring. Today, we're talking to the Absa Tanzania CEO, Mr. Obedi Laiser. Welcome.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. We're very happy to have you, very honored. I know you're a very busy man, so I know you have respected us and this community a lot to be here. I also know there's a lot more of your things that you try to give us a few minutes of you today. So we have a generation that we usually talk to. As I've mentioned, this is the Generation Yas. They'd love to hear from you today and then from your experience and from a lot of good job that you're doing with the organization that you're leading. And just to get a glimpse of what it is to be a CEO of this very big company, not here in the country, but even bigger outside there.
Sure.
Just to understand from your story and see a few things that they can learn. Now, what is a better way to start than you tell us a bit more about your upbringing, where you grew up, the schools you went to, and how you got to be who you are today.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Kiondo. My pleasure to be here at Yas. Yeah, so I think it's an honor for me to get this opportunity to speak to Generation Yas, to share some of my experiences. And I'm glad that I've gotten the opportunity today to speak to you and speak to the audience as well. So a bit about my history. I was born in Arusha. I'm from there. I went to a boarding school at a very young age, from grade 1 up to grade 7. It was a very interesting school. It was a boarding school in the middle of the national park. So I think at a younger age, I got that opportunity to create my own independence because as you know, when you're far from parents, then you're there alone with the teachers and fellow students, and therefore it started from there. Then from there, I went to secondary school in Moshi. It's called Umbwe for my O-level. I went to Arusha, back to Arusha, my hometown. I did my A-levels, and then thereafter to University of Dar es Salaam, where I did the Bachelor of Commerce in Finance. Yeah, I think that's, in terms of school, that's it. And then I started my career in 2003. I joined PwC as an auditor, as you've said in my introduction. Spent 10 years there, 7 years in Tanzania, and then I was lucky to get an opportunity to be seconded to work with PwC in the London office. I spent almost 2.5 years there, and then I came back in 2010. And I spent a year or a year and a half, and then an opportunity came here in Yas when the mobile money business was still in the earliest stages. They wanted somebody with strong experience in finance and risk management and controls. and I joined them in February 2012, if I remember correctly. And I spent almost 5 years, 5 years, and very proud in terms of the contribution that I gave to the team and Yas. By then, we worked, and I'm very proud. In fact, during that period, it was 4 years, but I think there was a lot of, I can call world-first innovation that we did together in the mix by Yas by then. And then after that, I joined Absa Bank as a CFO in 2016. And then I was promoted to become the CEO 2023, which I'm still very proud to be serving as the CEO of Absa Bank Tanzania.
Yeah, good. Thank you. So I've made a few things from that story. And maybe my very first interesting question would be, when you got a chance to go to PwC London, what are some of the shocks that you had to meet from, working here and then going there?
Yeah, I think there were some things that I was looking for and I imagined in terms of the differences. And it was really my first time to be in Europe, not only in London, but my first time to be in Europe. So the biggest thing that I was expecting is really the cultural shock, differences between the cultures in Europe and Africa in general. And that's something that I wanted to learn in terms of how do I create that diversity and be able to work with people of different cultural background. By that time, my family was still very youngish family. I was just married 1 year before that trip to the UK. My wife was pregnant with our first son, almost 7 months pregnant during the time of traveling. Almost she was about to be restricted from traveling because of that condition, but nonetheless we were able to find a way to travel. So I think culturally that's really the biggest thing that I was expecting to see. And I had already prepared my psychology to expect that things will be different. I'll meet different people. As you know, London is multicultural. There are people not only in Europe, but from all over the world. And I was really expecting to find people there from Asia, Africa, Latin America. And yes, I did. And I think the experience was quite interesting. And one of the richest for me in terms of the experiences that I've gotten culturally, the diversity of people across the continent and the world as well. And of course, it has contributed a lot in the person that I am today in those 2.5 years.
Good. So speaking of what contributed a lot to the person that you are today, I believe the early experience that you had of going to boarding school at that young age, and you went from that being very independent to continue to be a leader today. What are some of the things of the behavior and the trait that you had since then that you feel like they're still shaping the person that you are today?
Yeah, I think there are many, but maybe I'll just focus on very few that are quite impactful and instrumental. One is courage. I believe as a leader, you have to be courageous. Because in this world that is changing all the time, sometimes the decision that you make about business, about colleagues, about customers, there's a certain level of uncertainty that is always there. And if you're not courageous in terms of, you don't have to have all the information to be able to make a decision that you're sure of 100%. So at a young age, being alone without family close to me, with strangers and teachers, you had to be courageous at a very young age to decide for yourself, to do things for yourself, to create that independence that you have to survive. And I think that has contributed a lot to shape the person that I am today. A lot of decisions that we make as leaders requires courage. And I think at Absa Bank Tanzania, I'm very happy that one of the values that we have is courage, which aligns very well to my upbringing and the experiences that I've had since the younger days. I think the other one is the respect for others. When you're living in a different place other than your family, and you have to live a happy life, and you have to do what you have to do, then almost always, for you to be able to live happily, productively, you need to be able to live well with others. And you have to respect people if you have to live well with others. So I think at a younger age, I learned respect. You have to respect your colleagues. You have to respect the people that you are with in that environment, because it helps a lot. You can't do everything alone. Almost this world is very much interdependent at an organization level, at a personal level. And therefore, for you to be able to get the most out of everyone that you're living with so that your life can become easy, then you have to respect people. So I think I'll say courage and respect, which are still the values that I carry even today in the leadership role that I have, and it still helps me in terms of fulfilling the responsibilities that I have in the organization.
Do you think it was known, whether from you or from the people around you, that you'll be where you are today from that time?
No, not really from people that knows me, from not even from myself, really, because I remember when I was younger, in standard grade 3 or 4 or 5, my mom had asked me, who do I want to become when I grow up?
My favorite African parents question.
And by then I was so much intrigued because I was living in Arusha, and there were these coaster buses that were ferrying people from Arusha to Moshi, and some of my brothers and family friends who were older than me, when they completed standard 7 primary school, they were not lucky to go to secondary school, most of them. And therefore, they had to take a job somewhere. Some of them became car mechanics. Some of them became the bus conductors. And from the earnings they amassed from their job, they bought the bicycles. And during their resting days on Sunday, they used to ride those bicycles on the street that we were living in. And as a young boy, grade 3, 4, I really loved the experiences. I was excited to see them riding their bicycles and all that. And I wanted to have that capabilities of buying a bicycle for me. And therefore, when my mom asked me, who do you want to become? I said, I want to become a bus conductor. So that I can earn money and buy a bicycle and enjoy myself. So never did I really think at that age that I would, grow to become the person that I am today. But I think after a couple of years, completing primary school, went to secondary school. At the university is when I started thinking that, I can dream bigger. I can dream bigger because I am at the university, the highest level of education in the world. And I said, from here onwards, there can always be one direction, and that is up. And why not? I started believing in myself. And I was following very closely to some of the leaders in the country, very closely, especially the governor of the central bank. Since the university time, I was trying to understand him, study what does it mean to be a governor of the central bank. And I think that confidence started to grow from there onwards. And I said, in order for me to reach there, what is it that I need to do at the university? So I felt that I needed to do well in my exams. That's number one. Plus many other things, but I think performing well in your exam, getting good marks, getting good grades will be one of the best ingredients for me to be able now to get the opportunity to go into that space. So I think I started to dream and believe that I can be at this level, at the university level, but not earlier on.
Okay, interesting. So speaking about going to a big leader or starting leading now, the bigger team, the bigger companies, I believe when you moved to Barclays, then now Absa, as I say, that was very big. How did that come about, and how do you handle that?
Interesting question. I think that was big for me because firstly, I never worked in a bank before that. And you can imagine you're moving from a telco company into a bank. A space where you haven't worked before, and at a very high level, at a director level. So, as I said earlier, I knew banking from my audit background as an auditor, and I think that's the thing that gave me the confidence to say, it's not rocket science. That courage that I talked about from early on, I think that's one that really propelled me to say, I love banking because it's what we used to do what Mixed by Yas by then, mobile financial services, was also a financial service. But banking is completely different. But I had a background of being an auditor in banking, not only in Tanzania, but also in London. I said, let me just go there. You know, it's finance. I'm an auditor, I'm an accountant, qualified, and I'm going to a position which is a CFO role. And I had the courage and say, you know, I can do this. It doesn't matter. I'm an accountant, and if I go there, I know banking from an audit background. So my background in finance, being an accountant, but also having audited banks in Tanzania and elsewhere, but also the courage and belief in myself made me to say, I can go for this. So I applied, and during the interview process, obviously, there were a lot of bankers. People have done the CFO role in banks, 10 years, 15 years, and I was competing with them. So I just said, let me just go for the ride, because I was happy at Yas. I think we were growing very well. The innovation were coming, an exciting place. So I said, even if I'm not successful, I have a good life here. I can continue to work in this amazing organization. But I went. And after the process, I was surprised that I was successful after several interviews, and I joined Barclays, and I met a team of amazing leaders there as part of the EXCO leadership, and I was the only non-experienced banker, and therefore, ordinarily, I was a bit nervous in the beginning. I can't lie. You know, being in an EXCO meeting with people that have been there and done that in banking, and it's my first time, and I'm the CFO who is supposed to tell people, you know, what to do and how to do things. So I think it was a little bit nervous, but I believed in myself to say, after a few months of learning and orientation and all of that, I'll come good. And I spent, you know, significant amount of time to really familiarize myself with a side of banking that I didn't know, which is business, because I was so familiar with finance. In terms of finance operation, no doubt. But finance strategy and banking, I was not very good at. But I spent the first 6 months to really learn in a very hard way, putting a lot of efforts. And after 6 months, I was very, very comfortable that I can do it, and I have a lot to contribute. And after that 6 months is when I felt my courage is back, my confidence is back, and I was able now to work very closely with the rest of the team there to propel the organization trajectory forward.
I'm glad you've spoken about that sort of a self-assessment. There will be a lot of leaders who are watching us right now, a lot of startup owners, the leaders of small and medium enterprises, and one will think how important was that process of you being very honest to yourself and say, you know, I think these are my strengths and these are areas that I need to improve, and start really working on them for you to be able to be there 6 months after. How important was that?
I think it's quite critical. I call it self-awareness. You know, you almost have to do a SWOT analysis of yourself as an individual to determine what you're good at and what you're not good at, and what is it that you need to do. Because if you're not self-aware, then you might end up exposing yourself. Because in a professional organization, you have to know what to talk about at any particular point in time, so that sometimes you don't want to look stupid in front of people. People have been there and done that. So self-awareness. I did that assessment, and I realized there are people that I found here who are quite knowledgeable. And first of all, I have to earn their respect, number one. And I kind of took a back seat. And I knew they would understand me because I'm new. And I was so humble to them, to, you know, kind of being vulnerable and tell them, guys, look, you know, I've just joined the bank, and I know I don't know a lot like you. I'll be looking forward to learn from you. I'll be reaching out. And I did reach out to almost all of them. You know, having some intentional one-on-ones to every director to learn and ask questions. What do you do? How do you do it? And how it has been done here. So to answer your question, self-awareness, understanding your strength, understanding your weaknesses or the areas that you need to develop. And on the areas of development, be intentional in terms of how you're going to work on them. Because after a period of time, people will now be expecting you to be the expert, to deliver, and you are the CFO. There are no excuses. You have to be plug and play. So I think to answer your question, it's very, very critical, because if you don't, then you can be exposed, and maybe you might not be able now to tap into the collective wisdom and knowledge and skill of each and everyone within the organization and use it to your advantage and to the advantage of the organization as well.
Okay, and this was 2016, right?
2016, yes.
Okay, so that I believe you knew so many things then, and then you continue to grow. 4 years later, something happened that we all didn't know, COVID.
Yes.
You're still the CFO of the bank.
Yes.
How was that? What was the shock around? How do you have to change in terms of how to improve efficiency and manage costs and things around this? And something that we all didn't know. You just woke up one day and here we are.
And then COVID was there. Yeah. I think COVID was really one of the most significant events of our generation. As businesses, but also as colleagues in the workplaces. It changed a lot of things, and at a very fast pace. And for us at Absa by then, I think there were two important things. The primary objective was, how do we continue to serve our customers?
Correct.
Because when everything crashed because of COVID, business slowed down, everything went haywire, our customers struggled. Some of them were not able to continue to service their loans, and it was no longer BAU. So I think our first priority for me and the CEO by then was, number one, how do we work with our customers during this difficult time so that we can be seen that we are together in this. So that was our number one priority. We came together ourselves within the organization. We engaged our customers to understand, their situation as COVID and the business, and what impact has it had in their business and their cash flow. And of course, we devised some mechanism, including, allowing our customers to have some grace periods, delaying the loan repayment and all of that. So that was the first priority.
To be more flexible.
To be more flexible, because we were with these customers and we needed them even after COVID. And of course, there was an expectation that COVID was not going to be permanent. But as far as the internal mechanics and the arrangement is concerned, Absa Bank is part of Absa Group. And from a global perspective, there was a policy that was passed that we have to work from home remotely. And that presented an opportunity for us. Number one, initially it was, a pandemic. We have to protect ourselves, stay home, take care of yourself. But as time went by, it was starting to become a business imperative. We started to realize, actually there's some efficiencies that we can enjoy as a result of this setup. And therefore, as a CFO, I was the first one, together with my Chief Operations Officer, to step back and ask, what is it that we can do to ensure that as people work from home, we can create efficiencies that will help the organization to become more led in terms of cost and all of that. So we had built capabilities for our people, from a technology perspective, empowered them to have the tools and everything that they needed to work from home efficiently. We adopted that very immediately. In fact, to date, even after COVID is done, we still continue to work from home at Absa Bank. And we have seen the value, not only in terms of efficiency, but for us, it has become what we call an employee value proposition, an EVP. EVP are many things, but the flexibility to allow colleagues to work anywhere they want, as long as they continue to deliver. They continue to produce, they meet their KPIs. So it started as a protection mechanism, working from home. It became a business imperative in terms of efficiency. It evolved to become an EVP for staff and colleague, which we're proud of to continue up to now. So when somebody wants to employ our people and they work 100% from office, I think our colleagues will think twice whether they need to exit Absa or not. Plus many other factors. I think this, policy of hybrid working, home and office, it's something that people want now, they need. It was given to them, but now I think it's becoming a part of their lives, and I think we want to continue that. So it was an efficiency. There was an opportunity there, which we enjoyed, but now it's an EVP. We treat this as an EVP for our colleagues, which we like to continue and give to our colleagues the kind of experience that they've been enjoying for the last 4 years.
So before we go deep into managing performances and ensure with all this people still do their usual tasks and achieve their KPIs. One thing that will be very interesting to ask is you did that very well. And then you became a CEO. That's for the last 2.5 years now, right?
Yes.
Almost close to 3 years. How did that come about? What are some of the shocks that you had to do changing from a functional leader of finance to now managing director of CEO?
Yeah. I think, firstly, I have to say I was a bit lucky in 2 ways. One is to work in an organization that has a very robust succession planning process. And therefore, even before I became the CEO, there was a plan in the last 2 years prior, which was very organized. And I went through that process of preparing. It was not only myself, there were other colleagues in that process. We were prepared by way of training, by way of on-the-job experiences and everything that we needed to be ready at any point in time. So I think that was one advantage. But the second advantage is really to have worked with a person that believed in developing leaders, who is my former CEO, who clearly knew that for an organization to continue to be sustainable in terms of performance, you need to create a pipeline of leaders, not one, not two, several. That will be ready to take over when he's not around. And I have to say he did that very, very well. And I was one of the beneficiaries of the leadership, the incredible leadership that he provided, but also the organization. So when it finally happened, it was a competitive process because I was not alone in that, and I was lucky to have been chosen. So when it actually happened, it was not a very big shock because of the process that had happened to me prior. But the only difference that I saw was in terms of the role itself. I was the CFO. Now you're looking at a broader organization. It's not the same. When I was the CFO, I had some of the traits that I thought, I needed to carry them forward in the CEO role. One of which is I was a desktop person, sitting in your desk doing a lot, majority of the items, because it's that way in finance. You have to do that. But when you come into this role, in the first few months, I felt like, why is it that I'm not doing anything? I felt like I'm doing nothing. And that made me a little bit uncomfortable. But after a while, I learned that, this role, it's not about doing. It's about leading the team for them to do their best.
Correct.
So you don't have to feel uncomfortable. So over time, I started to pivot myself towards managing and leading team. And how do you create an atmosphere that people believe in themselves, they feel empowered, they feel confident. But I think more importantly, I was listening to a podcast by Jeff Bezos recently, and he was interviewed, and he was asked, what are the top 3 qualities of a good CEO? And he said, it all comes down to 3 things.
Right.
One is you have to be the generator or the originator of big ideas. Not alone, but it has to come from you. It is expected. You are the visionary symbol of the organization, and therefore, in terms of the big ideas, number one, you have to be the generator. And it doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers. What you need to do is to put a mechanism within the organization to tap into the brains and minds of each and every employee, and then using that to create the biggest idea and share with the team. So that's number one. You have to be the generator of the big idea because you are the leader. You are leading. You're the visionary. The second one is you have to have a culture of ruthless execution of that idea, because the idea is as good as the execution. And most of the leaders, sometimes they have big ideas which are transformative, but they don't see them through the cycle. So number 2, how do you manage, supervise, lead the rest of the organization, the team, to ensure that that big idea is ruthlessly executed? And number 3 is to develop the new breed of leaders. If you are there, you will not be there forever. There will be a time when you have to leave. And therefore, in the same way that you formed this organization and you got the opportunity to lead, you always have to be thinking that when I'm not here, who will be there for this organization? And who will be there even after the second pass? So I think I realized it came down to all 3 things. You have to be the generator of idea. And therefore, for you to be able to do that, you have to transition from thinking as a doer, and now become a visionary leader. And I think once you land into that space, then leadership becomes more productive, more effective for the organization, but also for the colleagues that you're leading.
No, I love that. And I think we'll probably use the next few minutes to unpack that a bit more. So starting with being a generator of, these big ideas and being the visionary symbol of the institution. How does one be able to do that? What are the type of spaces and area that you put yourself, or how you position yourself to be able to continue to do that? Because I believe you have to do that every other time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say it comes with a number of things that you have to do. One is you really have to ensure that you keep yourself abreast of the development, which means you have to be knowledgeable. I mean, there's no any other alternatives, because ideas comes from knowledge, and you can only acquire knowledge in multiple ways: by reading a lot, by following matters of the world, and locally, regionally. So you really have to be knowledgeable. There's no any other option, because you can't be visionary if you don't know stuff. So you have to know stuff in your industry, like in banking. You have to be knowledgeable about banking, not only in Tanzania, but across, in terms of customer expectation, product, trends, and all of this, what's happening. And therefore, ordinarily, you have to read. I personally read quite a bit, and that helps. Whether it's newspapers, it's books, it's podcasts, it's watching in social media. So that's number 1. But I think number 2, you have to create what I call psychological safety within the organization. And by that I mean an environment where colleagues feel free to express themselves, whether by giving feedback on things that are not working properly, or by giving good ideas about how they think, what they think, this could be done, which can benefit the organization. Because let's face it, you can't have all the answers yourself. That's the reality. It's just a single brain out of, I don't know how many people you have at Yas. And if you close the door to think that you will always be the person that has that idea, no. What you have to do is to build an environment where you are able to listen and allow colleagues to thrive and give their best ideas. And if things are not going well, then people are free to say, I don't like this. I think this is not the right way to do things. To their leaders, to the CEO himself, or if they have the best ideas, where do they give those best ideas without feeling that these guys are encroaching into my space? So you have to create that, because there's a lot of value in tapping into the minds and brains of each and everyone. So I would say for me, it comes down to the 2 of these. You have to keep abreast of what is happening, become knowledgeable yourself, follow things, know things. But equally important is to create a space where you are able to tap into the minds of each and every employee that you have in the organization, and use those opinions and ideas and views and perspective, plus your knowledge, combine them together and come up with something that you as a leader now feel. But maybe originally it was not even you. It was the people, it was what you learned, but it has come from you. You need to have that in your mind to say, I have to create an environment where people can come up, and then at the end of it, you find the best idea, you introduce that to the team. So I'll say 2 things.
Good. So I love this first thing, and I love even more the second one, which is having a ruthless culture of executing now this big idea, because it starts moving from you and the idea that you have gathered and shaped it. Now start going to the teams.
Absolutely.
And that's probably one of the things that I would want a lot of leaders today to learn is now how do you create a performing culture in an organization where you can have this big idea, put it down there to the team, ensure they understand it, and then so that as a leader you see it done at some point.
Absolutely. I think this subject about building a high-performing team is really everything, because the biggest asset that most organizations have, including ours, is our people. And you can only get performance from high-performing teams. So where does it start? If I want to break it down, I think in my view, it starts from the recruitment.
Okay.
Interesting. It's an important, critically important step. At the time of recruitment, ensure that you get the right people. Because once you get a good person, somebody who is competent, somebody who is skillful, somebody with the right attitude, then that's almost a very good start. But if you fail there, it doesn't really matter what you do after that. So I would say, small scale owners, SMEs, the people that you hire, the process that you use to hire those people, you almost have to ensure that it gives you a very big chance of hiring the best. Or somebody who is at least more than average, because it solves a lot of problems thereafter. The other aspect is now you've hired the good people, they're with you. How do you ensure that you get the most out of them? As you work with them, as you give them different responsibilities, different roles. I think after they are in, one other important aspect is training. It's something that we overlook, especially in an SME business. Oftentimes, business owners, founders, they ignore this aspect. They think that because I've hired a technology expert, he or she will continue to be knowledgeable, skillful for the rest of their life. No, things are changing. As I've said, the world is changing, technology is changing, sales is changing, HR practices are changing, and you almost always have to ensure that your people continue to be trained so that they are knowledgeable, they know what they need to do. And therefore training, it will come with a cost, but I can tell you, it will be better to invest a small amount of money to ensure that the people that work with you are knowledgeable, they are skillful, because they will deliver. Productivity will increase. Instead of saving that training cost, the repercussions are huge. You might not be able to see. You will only see them in the way you perform. Maybe your performance was supposed to be at this level, but they are going at this level and you're happy. But if you had trained people, maybe it could have been exponential. So I think training, for me, is another one component of how you build high-performing team. Because high-performing team comes from people that know what to do, they know what, they know the how, they know when. And they can only be able to do that if they're properly trained. Number 3, to ensure that they understand the vision and the strategy of the company. Because
that big idea that we spoke about.
Big idea that I spoke about. Do they understand? You work with people that you know what is it that I want to do. I have the idea and I have the vision where I want to take this company. But the rest of the people that you work with, they don't have a clue. The only thing they know is just to come in the morning, do whatever you have asked them to do, and go home and get their salaries. I can tell you, if people understand the bigger picture, there is a lot. Because let's face it, people, other than the work we do, we want to find meaning in what we do. We want to find purpose. And when we do, I think it is easier for us to connect with the work that we're doing. Instead of just thinking, I'm here to earn a salary. It doesn't really bring the best in you. You have to connect with the purpose. And if you do, there is a lot that you can do even without being asked by your supervisors or your managers or your bosses. So I would say, whether you are a CEO in a big company or you are a founder or a manager in a small SME, ensure that the vision that you have for the organization, for your company, how you want to do things, who do you want to become 5 years, 10 years, and forever, you share why you are doing that business with the rest of the people. And sometimes it feels uneasy to say, if I share with them, maybe they'll steal my idea and go and then use it to form a company that would come and compete with me. It doesn't matter. This has a lot of people, a lot of customers. If you're good and you're able to deliver service to customers, it doesn't matter that your employee would one day go and establish the same. No, but if you think that you can't train, you cannot share your vision, and they still continue to be there, you would rather share. And then even if they leave, others will come, you will share. So I'll say number 3, share your vision, share your strategy. Make sure that other than the operational part of it, in terms of what they do, employees understand the bigger picture, which is, what is the vision here? What are we trying to do? What is the purpose? Why are we here in the first place? And what is the strategy? How do we, attain the purpose? What is it that we need to do in this market? The technique, the strategy, the vision, which will allow us to. So I think share the strategy, share the vision with the employees. Don't be afraid. The benefits are far better than the disadvantages or the fears that you might have. And lastly, but not least, is really the culture. The kind of culture that you want to build in an organization, because strategy is important, vision is critical, but I think more importantly is, how do you do things? How do you behave as you execute your strategy? It is equally important. As you know, there's this famous saying that, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Meaning that even if you have the best strategy, you have the good vision, if the culture in an organization is not the good culture to help you achieve performance, you are not going to get anywhere. So what kind of culture do you as a founder want to instill to the people that you work with? And culture is very broad. In big organizations like ours, we have policies, we have values. What do you stand for? As you deal with each other, as you deal with your customers, what are some of those traits or behaviors or norms that you hold so dear? That you think when everyone in the organization lives with those, then this is going to contribute significantly in the execution of the strategy. So I think culture is another one, which I find that most of the SMEs, I don't think they think about it that often. It even crosses their mind, but I would like to share with them that I've seen in the organization that I've worked with, culture is critical, and it's what sustains organization for many, many years. For many, many years, even beyond their time and our time. What ensures that these people will continue to behave in this way, even when I'm not here. So I think culture is another one. Let me end there. There are many, but I think those 4 are critical.
Now, good. So before we go to the third thing, I think maybe also one thing that will be very important to understand, especially from your experience. Now, after you've done all this, there'll still be areas where we'll have to be even more ruthless to some people and talent decisions, where people are not performing, even when the culture is that good, even when all the environment is there for them to perform. How is it important from a leadership point of view to still early recognize that and make those decisions?
I think it's important to be aware that even with the best intention, there will be some few instances of outliers. I think that a small percentage of people that would not go in line with the culture, with everything. And that happens. First of all, you have to be aware that it happens. So that when you find 1 or 2 incidents, you're not angry or you're not surprised. Because when you are angry or surprised when you find that incident, that's the first step of not being able to solve it. But once you recognize this happens, it's normal. And you have to have that tolerance to say a certain percentage of people would be an outlier. But when it happens, I feel that there has to be a process of saying, when we find 1 or 2 people are not going in line with the performance levels, with the culture and all of this, how do we deal with that? Organizations that are bigger, like Yas and Absa Bank, we have a very formal process on how we manage these
Right.
things
Yeah.
from an HR perspective. Number one, you fully have to honor the line manager, the supervisor, or the manager needs to take a very keen interest to understand why is this individual not aligning with the performance levels, with the culture. And kind of review that with the person to get to the bottom of it instead of making assumptions and prejudices. Because sometimes you can assume this person is not conforming and therefore out. We are humans. Sometimes we have our own personal issues we're dealing with, and managers or business owners do not understand. If somebody was a good person before and then suddenly turns out to be not the same person, you have to take a keen interest to really learn what's troubling these individuals. And once you understand, you put a process. First of all, to say, how do we bring this individual? And I believe in majority of cases, and I've seen it in practice, that people who are not performing or people who are not conforming to the culture that we want to build, once the manager or the leader takes a keen interest to say, I want to help the individual, I want to assist, it turns out very well in the end. But when you give up from the beginning and then say, no, you're not performing this here, you're not conforming to the culture, then the only option is exiting. I don't think that's the right way to do things. So you almost have to put a process to say, how do I bring this individual? How do I understand deeper the problem he's facing, whether it's work-wise or it's personal? And once you understand the drivers of that challenge, you are able now to come up with mechanism to solve. Don't think that you're solving for him, you're solving for the organization as well. Because if this guy is healed and is now up and running and performing and conforming, it can only be for the benefit of the organization.
Even more to the culture now.
So you have to have a process. First of all, as I said, you need to be aware. There will be outliers, always. People will turn out to be that way, either because of the environment at work, and therefore the issue around training and all of these things that I discussed. But it can also be because of personal reasons outside of work. Somebody has a challenge, and because of that challenge is unable to do stuff in the right manner at work. And you don't know as a leader. But if you don't engage and connect at a personal level, and which is why I think the importance of empathy comes in. Put yourself in somebody's shoes to understand why is this happening, instead of just pointing fingers. Once you are able to put yourself in somebody's shoes, I think that's the right step to start determining
from their point of view.
their point of view, what's the problem. And if you have the good intention, then I think you'll be able to help the individual. And hopefully, in majority of cases that I've seen, 90+%, people have been put in this kind of process. Even if they were not performing or they had a culture that was not conforming, they come up good. I always tell my team that leaders, we are like parents. Because if there is a very good leadership example, is at a parent level. And you need to ask yourself, what do we do when our kids are not conforming to the way we think they should live their life? What do you do as a mother or as a father? You don't give up, is it?
No, you don't.
You will do everything to ensure that kid comes up, behaves well, and performs in school, and you invest. So why is it impossible? You do that to your kids, but you can't do that to your staff. So if you can borrow that, if you're a good parent at home, and the learnings about leadership when you're a parent, you can borrow a leaf from that experience to say, if this is the colleague I'm working with, I have to have their best interest at heart. And when they're struggling, I have to investigate and find out what is it that I can do. So
this is very interesting. Now, I know I said that I love the second thing more, but I think I will enjoy even more the third one. Where I think you mentioned about being able to also develop leaders. I think we'll talk a bit more about this topic. I was taking something that still entertain my brain every time. I learned about it a couple of days ago. Is the average age of Tanzania is 17 years. So the country is literally a Gen Z. Now, developing leaders for the future means not only leading these people, but helping them to be better leaders. I think you mentioned at some point that, a few years we will leave the likes of Yas and Absa to this generation. What do we do as leaders to develop other leaders, especially with this coming generation?
Yeah, I think it's an important one as leaders, and especially for SME. I visit customers in my role as a CEO for Absa. And my customers are quite diverse in terms of their background. And there are different lessons I'm taking from them. One is this idea of developing leaders. Either family-owned businesses or otherwise. And in some of the clients that I visit, the one that have been successful and they are now big in terms of size, I have learned one important lesson, which is succession planning. I give an example. One of them I visited is a top manufacturer, FMGC company. He has a team of executives, legal, manager, HR, all of this. And he has his son. At that moment, I think he was in college. But every time he's on leave, he's in the office and he attends all the meetings. So there was a meeting that I visited, this CEO of this company. And in the meeting with him, there was this young guy, I think he was 24 or 23. Then we had a meeting, talk about everything that we had to talk about. And when the meeting ended, I asked him, because in the introduction, he told me that, hey, my son went to university. And I asked him, why is he here? And he said he's always in all the meetings, whether it's with banks or with government or with customers or expo. He's just there, listening, And I was very much intrigued by that, really, to understand the value of succession planning. And this guy has this vision to say, I want to train him so that when I'm not here, and when he finishes university and he grows up, he knows the traits of the game. Some things are better learned when you observe and listen than when you're trained theoretically. That things are done this way. You can stay calmly somewhere and just observe. And it pays, because even himself, the story that he gave me, he was run through the same process by his father. So you can see the way this generational succession planning and leadership transition happens. So some organizations do that. And by the time his father, who was a business person and he was younger, he was trained, he came up through, he took over. Now the old man is old, he's still there, but very old. And then the father of the son is the one that is running the business, very successful, and even more successful than how he found it when he took over. Now he's training another one, by observing. And I think I just want to share this example because it's so practical. I could go into the theories to explain, but let me just use this example, first of all, to show you how succession planning is important, how other companies have done it when they were very small, until now when they're huge organization and conglomerates. And it started from the first generation. Now this is the third that's coming up. You almost always need to know and be aware and recognize that for your company to continue to be there sustainably, we are human. We are not immortal. Either you will, even if you survive, there are moments that you will be ill. You will want to take leave as well. And especially for founders of small businesses, what happens to your business when you are ill? If you have not really grown some people to be able to do the work in the way that you do. You'd want to go on leave, you'll be sick, you will travel. And then at the end of it all, you don't establish a business to die with you. I don't think there's anyone who establishes business say, I'm just doing the business because to get money and to support my life here on earth. But when I die, I want to die with it. I don't think there is any business founder who has that idea. Which is why I said in the beginning, purpose is important. You always have to have a purpose. That I'm establishing this business, not only for earning my livelihood, there is something much bigger than myself that I want to contribute. And if that is in your mind, you will always want to think beyond you and realize I need to start growing. Whether it's family members or somebody else, depending on the nature of the organization, you have to know that it is important that you grow people because we are human. We are not machine. Kuna likizo, there are illnesses. But of course, there is a time that your life will come to an end. And no one will like to go into the grave with their business. And therefore, so how do you do that? This example that I gave of, give the experiences on the job. The second point is some SME founders, they're a bit anxious to share a lot. To the earlier point that I made, they want to hold a lot of information by themselves, and in doing so, they deprive others from knowing what actually happens in this organization. Others become just doers, but they don't know the strategy, they don't know the vision, they don't know some other plans of the organization. All of that are withheld by the founders. I don't think that is good because if other people don't, and maybe there could not, it doesn't have to be everyone within the organization, but some people that you really trusted them, whether they are 2 or 3, choose them and then share a lot. Maybe share everything. Be vulnerable. Share everything. And in that way, they will be able to know when you're not around, they'll be able to perform. So as I said, if you recruited very well, if you trained very well, if you shared the vision and the strategy, and now you've identified a few group among those people that you want to entrust and say, between myself and these 3, 4, 5, they will be able to carry this organization forward. And now give them the experiences of how can you be a CEO. In organizations like ours, I think what we do is, once you identified, I came through the same process. When I was a CFO, I was part of the succession planning. And my boss by then did 2 important things for me. One, he took me for trainings and I was able to motivate for me to go. Some of them very expensive. He was able to give me the on-the-job training experiences of, managing meetings. Sometimes he say, I'm in the office, but I have a meeting that I normally chair. I'm not chairing today. You chair. And not once, not twice, but several times. And I did that. Sometimes when he had meetings externally to see the regulator, to see customers, to speak in conferences and seminars as the CEO of Absa, he used to tell me, you want to go? And I said, yes, I want, because I want to learn. And there's no better way you can learn other than the practicals of it. So he allowed me. Even when he was around, I used to speak in conferences outside of the bank on behalf of him. And all of this meant a lot in terms of my preparation. Internally within the organization, externally with regulators and other key stakeholders in the industry. It had built my confidence along the way, sharpened my skills, presentation or otherwise. And by the time it was happening, I felt like, this is not new. This is not new. There's things that I need to learn, but I did not feel that I've been thrown into a deep end because of that preparation. So my advice to the SME and business founder is pick those people among the many employees that you have and have that courage to share with them, know it and be aware. That's the thing about self-awareness. You need to be aware that you will need somebody other than you to carry the dream of this organization. And it can be when you are leave, which is shorter. It can be when you are ill, which is shorter. Or it can be when you're not around, which is much, much longer. And you instill that into that other person. And if he continues to do as you did to him, then you are sure that even after you, your company will always continue to be there for the benefit of your family, but for the benefit of this country. Because we need businesses, small, medium, or big, to continue to be there to save this country, to create jobs for our people. And which is why I said purpose is very important. Why are you doing this? It's not only for the money. There's something that is in you to say, I want to create employment opportunities. I want to have a business that contributes to the development of this country. I want to do this because of what? Other than the money. Because of what? Why? In Absa, we have the why, which is a powerful vision, really. We say, we are here to empower Africa's tomorrow. That's our purpose as an organization. Empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. Very powerful. Empowering. I think you'll notice the word empowering. Africa. The reason why we exist as Absa is for Africa. And I think we are very unapologetic about it. Some people say, maybe, why not Asia? Why not? I think there's a reason. We feel that Africa needs a lot from every one of us, and we are in Africa. So before we start expanding our wings and hands everywhere, why can't we just concentrate here and our efforts and focus and everything that we have to solve the problems that exist in Africa? Because there are many.
Very, very interesting. I know you live this, and I've heard from one of your speeches in 200 CEOs Business Forum, where you spoke a lot about the future of Africa and where you wanted to go and how Absa helps that. Now, we're speaking to owners of businesses and SMEs. How important are them? How important are SMEs in the economy of whether Tanzania or Africa, and where you see this future?
Absolutely. I think SME business is, I would say, the backbone of Africa, the backbone of Tanzania. 70+% of the GDP of this country, which is what we produce as output, comes from SME. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of big corporates. You can count them in this country. And job creation comes from SME. Majority of our people, 80% plus, who have jobs, they're employed in SME. So SME is really quite critical. And which is why, us as financial institution and many other partners, including Yas, we have to play a much, much bigger role. And I think speaking about the purpose, once you identify that the importance of SME in a country, in a continent, and you are an organization in this country, the question is, what role are you playing to support the SME to grow further? And I think the reason why I also accepted this podcast is because of that recognition, that if I can do my little by sharing my experiences to the SMEs, it's one way. But personally, I contribute to that. But I think at Absa, there is many things strategically we are doing for SME. I'm sure Yas is also doing, and this is initiative that you're doing to kind of create a platform where you can get the best out of people that experience and share with Generation Yas. It's part of it. So to answer your question, SME, it's a backbone of Tanzania. It's not only Tanzania. I mean, if you go to Europe as well, it's the same. Big, large corporates are fewer. Most people in terms of employment, where tax is also being generated. And therefore, it is at our best interest to ensure that SME thrive. They continue to grow, they continue to thrive. And I think your company and my bank, we are doing a lot, strategically, but also at an individual level to ensure that happens, to basically add into the efforts that the government is doing to help SME business to thrive.
Thank you, Obeid. I think that's very, very powerful.
Yeah,
So before we go to the very end of this podcast, I'll ask you a few quick fire questions. I'd like to ask you one question that these leaders and SME founders can learn from. You lead an organization, and the role that you are in, there's a lot of pressure to manage yourself, to manage the people, to manage the vision of this big organization. And you mentioned earlier that you had a young family then, which is, I believe, is growing now. So how do you manage that pressure of doing all that and still be there, for example, for the family? What is your strategy and style around that?
I think it's an important one. Kiondo, work-life balance, as they call it nowadays. I think there are two aspects. Number one is to be able to recognize, yes, pressure is there, and you are required to be in the office most of the time. And therefore, one thing that you can do to yourself to be able to release some of the pressure and allow you to have a bit of time with the family, one is discipline. You see, you have to be organized. You don't have to be leaving things to chances. In most cases, we operate without any plan, especially when you are SME business owner. Things will just take you either direction. So I think you need to stay focused. You need to stay on the lane. What you have planned to do for the day, which means you have almost to have your plan for the day, for the week, for work, for family. So discipline. When you say this week, I want to go somewhere with my son or daughter or family, you have to ensure that it happens without any hindrance. And in order for you to do so, discipline. Plan accordingly, discipline in terms of executing it without any excuses. Because if you don't, then you will be pulled in all directions. Somebody will come on Friday and say, I want to see you on Saturday, and you had planned. Say, this is my day with family, and then you find yourself there. But at work, what will allow you to do that? Empowering others as a leader to be able to help you to discharge some of the responsibility will allow you also to have some times to do some other stuff. So as a leader, delegation is absolutely critical. The one thing that I've found has helped me to get some time to spend with friends and family is really to empower the people that I work with and to delegate as much as I can. Delegation is key. Don't hold everything to yourself. And that talks to the succession planning point that we discussed earlier. Prepare people. Bring up people to a level that you feel they're equally just like you. Okay? And in an event when you need to do something else, you need to be in the office or you need to travel, then you don't worry that I'm out of the office, I need to travel for a vacation with the family. But you're worried, if I'm out, who will do the job? So empowering, training, succession planning, but more importantly, be comfortable to delegate. So for me, it comes down to two. Discipline, delegation. For you to get time to really have a very good work-life balance.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll go to quick fire questions now. Those are just short questions where I also give short answers. Can be one word, one sentence. And then we see how we can close it. So my first question will be, what do you think is the most underrated trait in leadership?
I would say listening. As basic as it is, we sometimes think that we listen, but oftentimes we don't. So I would say listening effectively to understand what other people are saying when you have a conversation with them. I think it's whether it's in a meeting or whether it's one-on-one. Somebody has just popped into your office, he wants to have a chat. Put everything aside, focus on listening. Sometimes it's underrated. We feel we understand the person who's talking. You're juggling around too many things, using your phone. And then by the time somebody goes out, what did he say? You don't remember. Even if you remember the word, you don't remember the meaning. So for you to be able to grasp the true meaning of the conversation, you need to listen. But I think it's almost always underrated.
I think that's a good one. So the second one is, if your leadership style would have a timeline, what would that be?
I would say, let's fly together.
Let's fly together. That's a
and that means that when sometimes leaders think that they are the people that are flying, and then the rest And then you're looking at others like now. No, I just feel that, when we are empowered, and that's why the concept of empowering us. Once you empower them, you almost fly together. So my tagline will be, let's fly together.
Fly together. That's a good one. The third question is, what is one advice? It can be life advice, leadership advice that you were given. You didn't take, you ignored it, and you're very happy you ignored it.
This will be very controversial, but I'll say it. When I was leaving Yas, as I told you earlier, I was working here for a number of years. When I was leaving Yas, it was kind of a timing controversy that happened. The first day I joined Absa, Barclays by then, I found an announcement in the media that Barclays Bank was shutting down offices in Africa, including Tanzania.
Wow.
So the CEO was here by then, saw that advert. Not advert, it was a news in one of the English newspapers. And he took a picture and sent it to me and said, have you seen this? I said, yeah, I've seen it. So the bank is going down. Your bank that you just joined is going down. But I can tell you, you can come back. Your role is still vacant. We have not filled it. And of course, we are good together in this organization. So I'm advising you, I'm putting on the table that if it befits you, please come back. You're our friend. You're good here, and your bank is going down. And for a minute, really, that made a lot of sense to me, because there was a lot of things that were unclear on that side after that announcement. I was asking my boss, he was also very unclear about what this closure means. Is the bank going to be closed or not? But in the end, I just decided to say, whatever this means, I will remain. Okay? I had made up my mind that I wanted to be in a bank. And I prayed about it to say, God, please, if I'm in the wrong place, help me to heed this advice or not. But in the end, I decided to stay. And in hindsight, I think not that this organization is not good, it's perfectly. But I think for me, that was really the platform that kind of made me to be the person that I am today. I am not sure if I had taken that advice, where would I have been? So I enjoyed my journey there. I'm the CEO today. I think it was the best advice because I think it was made with good intention from the leader that I respected who was here. And it was a bit difficult for me to decide which way, but I had to make a choice, and I did. And I'm very happy about the choice that I made.
I think it speaks a lot to the boldness and being, courage of you that we spoke about in the very early stage. Now, the last question would be, what is the book that, whether you read it now or you read, that you think the leaders today would read it and learn a lot from it?
There is an interesting book I'm reading now. It's called Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. It's very interesting. And maybe in summary, what it means is it talks about tipping point. Tipping point is the point where something tips, meaning something has reached its climax before it becomes an epidemic, a positive epidemic. Because epidemic, we have disease epidemic, but you could have a product epidemic. So this guy, he's saying that every idea, every product, every business goes through a cycle. Especially when it has begun, which is a concept of SME. SME are founded, they begin, they start their business. And there's a period of time where they feel frustrated. Year one, the business is not taking up. Year two, it's not. Year three, and you almost feel the despair. Say, maybe I need to scrap this. But this book is about how can you continue to hold on your idea or your business until when it tips. And when it tips, which is called a tipping point, is when you now start to see from nowhere, suddenly, the business starts now to flourish. or if it's an idea that you are selling to people in an organization, people now starts to understand it. Oh, this is what he meant all along.
Yeah.
You know, you've been selling this idea to people, guys, this is important. They're not getting it. But that's fine, because everything has a tipping point. And how do you build that tipping point? Because if I've got an idea, I've got a business, how do I build that? Or do I leave that to chance? So an idea to tip. So this guy gave 3 ways of building, of creating your own tipping point. He says you almost always have to have 3 types of people in your life, personal or business. There are people that are called connectors. These are people that have been endowed or blessed with a unique ability to connect people, one to the other, one to the other. And there was an example that was given there to say, even the spouse that you have, the wife or husband, if you do your research properly, how you met him or her, you will go through a network of people, and they can reach up to 40. And if you do your research properly, you realize out of that 40 sake of people, and your husband or your wife is one of them, there is one person that played a significant role to bring all of these 40 together. Those guys are called connectors. There are others who are called mavens. Mavens are people that are very knowledgeable about things or ideas. They know it all. You know? For instance, if you want to buy a fridge, you meet a maven, you say, I want to buy a fridge. He will be so excited to tell you about every type of fridge. You know, the weaknesses, the strength of the fridge, the details, the specification. These are mavens. People who know stuff. And then there are salespeople. You know, connectors, mavens, and salespeople. Salespeople, as the name implies, these are good sellers. Sellers of ideas, sellers of goods, or sellers of everything. So if you have in your cycle, and if you want your idea to tip, whether you're a business leader like he was, you want to preach something in this team, they don't get it amongst your team members. If you're able to identify connectors within the team members, people who, when you talk to them, they don't have a lot of knowledge in terms of it, but when you tell them an idea, they're able to take it and bring somebody and connect. You need to have the mavens. Now, these are the technical gurus. They understand the product or the concept. They can explain very well. And then now you have the salespeople. Connector bring people together. Mavens are knowledgeable, and salespeople, they sell an idea. If you have these 3 people, you have a business in you, and you use them very well, they can help you to shorten that period between the start of the business and the tipping point, where now your business reaches a tipping point and there is an epidemic of success, and it starts to flourish. So that's a tipping point.
I think that's very good and very powerful. Guys, go get that book. I think, as I promised you in the beginning, there'll be a lot of lessons today, and I'm sure you've learned a lot. But if there's anything that you want to talk to our community, the Generation Yas, there's your career.
Thank you very much, Yas, for inviting me here. I think the only thing that I want to share with SME founders and business owners is that in this world of today, if there is anything that is certain, it is uncertainty. As controversial as it might sound, the world is now increasingly changing every day, politically, economically, socially, technologically. So the role of a business founder is to, churn a way to see how you navigate all of these uncertainties and complexities. And therefore, I believe everything that I've shared with you today will equip you, will benefit you to be able to navigate the complexities of this world, because you don't expect the world to remain stagnant. And that's not how it's supposed to be. It will be changing. So you can either decide to be a blamer, blaming the environment, blaming the changes, or you can be agile, which means creating those capabilities and developing the capabilities. You prepare yourself and your team when things change. You can take the advantage and be ahead of the curve to be able to sustain your business for the future. Thank you very much. My pleasure. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being a very good scholar and a very good guest.
Awesome.
We have learned a lot. Ladies and gentlemen of Generation Yas, that was it for today. Cheers. Anzia uli.